When she came back after 4 months, she said, I am surprised. Your relation between the two of you has gone to a very different level. I don't see you arguing, I don't see you fighting. So that was the first benefit of the leadership training I did, emotional competencies. And emotional competencies, I don't see it listed in the topics, is one of the very important skills you need to acquire as a leader. Emotional competence is not blunting emotionally. You say anything, I will not react, keep quiet, mask face, not that. Emotional competence is you behave as a normal human being. You get angry, you get annoyed, you get emotional, but you don't take decisions under the influence of emotions. You realize the first step is you sense I am getting angry. कान में blood supply बढ़ेगी, you will get agitated, your heart rate will go up. You'll pick up those physiological signs of getting angry. Then you say, okay, yes, I am getting angry. I don't have to behave under the influence of anger. So your logical brain takes over and you don't behave in an illogical manner. Otherwise you behave at primitive brain level because emotions are at that level. And then you react, you get angry. And I have come across many times, Dr. Agarwal, when you talk to somebody, he's getting angry, you said you are getting angry, he shouts back at you, you think I'm getting angry? I'm not angry. The person is even getting more angry, not recognizing he is the sheer. And I'm sure you must have had that experience in your life. So leadership skills are very important. Right from day one, I remember 1st of January 1976, my first posting as an intern was in pediatrics. So नया white coat बनाया. कल से internship शुरू हो रही है. So I got up early that morning, excited that today my internship starts. Those of you who have seen AIMS, when you enter the ward, on left side is one ward, on right side is the other ward, C ward and D ward. At 6th floor is called C6 and D6 in pediatrics. So I walked into the ward, probably the first doctor, and the moment I enter, I turn to the right and I see commotion in the ward. Doctor has come, doctor has come. I didn't know what do I do. There's some crisis. They were waiting for doctor and I'm the one who lands up. I couldn't run away, though I wanted to, because you are a doctor, you can't run away. So I confidently kept walking, at least seemingly confident walk. And then I get to this cabin where I see relative and a small child. And I see some red fluid on the floor. And the sister tells me, doctor, she has vomited blood. And the parents are worried. आसपास के जो patients हैं, उनके भी रिश्तेदार, everybody is worried. Tell us, doctor. And I didn't know what to do. So I looked carefully at the fluid on the floor. I saw some granules. And those of you who are senior to me or my contemporaries will remember we used to give para-aminosalicylic acid, PAS, for treatment of tuberculosis. So the child was given that, empty stomach, and the child vomited. So I said, no, ye to dawai nikli. I don't know how much relief I gave to the patients and others, but I was relieved a lot more than they were. So right from day one, the nurses, the paramedic staff, the patients, their relatives, they are looking up to you. Yes, as technical expert, but as leaders. Calm them down. Tell them what is happening. But we are never trained as leaders. अंडर ग्रेजुएट में तो नाम ही नहीं मैंने मुझे ध्यान की करते करिकुलम में कोई लीडरशिप की बात भी करता हूँ एक बार भी वर्ड आता हो सेम इन आवर पोस्ट ग्रेजुएट और सुपर स्पेशलिटी ट्रेनिंग बट द डे यू लैंड अप इन द हॉस्पिटल इन द वार्ड PHC I have worked at primary health center because I did my MD in community medicine. I have faced situations which my bosses said don't do anything. One of my workers was beaten up by a villager, the relative of a sarpanch, and I was warned, don't take any action, otherwise this person is notorious, he'll make life hell for you. My boss told me not to do it, but I thought no, my worker and all my workers need to be protected. I still went to the police station and lodged a complaint. I had not been trained in leadership, but when I reflect now, I feel I did the right thing. And it got sorted out. Despite my bosses telling me don't do it, this Sarpanch is notorious, he can do anything to you. So when you reflect on your life, you come across many examples, many stories, I am sure each one of you can share, where you need leadership skills and we are not trained in that. Another point I want to raise with you is we mix up leadership with technical competencies. And if you read James P. Collins, the famous writer on leadership, he said there are 5 levels of hierarchy of leadership. Level 1 is technical competence. We are all technical people. No compromise on that, you have to be the best in the field. But that is only level 1 of leadership. I have written books, I have come across people, I have written books, international publications, 100 plus. So I am a leader. You are not a leader. You are only at step 1. Technically competent person, all of us have to be technical competent. You have to move to level 2 when I can work as a team. I often give example, you have a doctor who comes, gold medalist in his field, very renowned, maybe some procedures named after him. He comes to the team. He comes to a team of 5 people, tells you useless. You don't know anything. I am the one who knows. वो खुद भी नहीं करता, इनका भी बेचारे जो पहले काम कर रहे थे, confidence खत्म, वो भी करना बंद कर रहे हैं. So you have a technical competent person who is not a team player. On the other side, you get equally competent person, maybe in the mode of Dr. Arun Agarwal or Dr. Vijay Agarwal, who comes, wow, you are doing great job. Same person, very competent, renowned in his field, oh, you are doing great job. What can I do to make you do more, do better? So these 5 people whom he joined, they produce 150% of what they were doing. And he contributes his bit. So 5 plus 1, 6. No, he makes it 10. And the previous leader, 5 plus 1 becomes 2 or even 0. So good leadership is the one which makes a difference. He can make a team lose confidence, stop doing what they're technically competent. Yes, the best probably in the world. So that's the difference between technical competence level 1, level 2 is when you become a team leader, you lead the team. Then level 4 is when you become a good manager, you head group of team, maybe head of the department or head of a hospital. Level 5 leaders, very few leaders reach that level. In his study on 1500 organizations, he found only 1% organization had that kind of leader. These leaders normally stay behind. If there is recognition to be given, like Dr. Arun Agarwal does, he will put number 2 in the front. Oh, there is an interview on CNN on the excellent work we have done as a team, you go, I will not go. And these leaders, when they leave the organization continues to do well for 50, 100 years because they have put in system. They have put in people in place who move into leadership positions in that kind of leadership. And I can give you examples from business. Enron, maybe some of you have heard about 15 years back, that was the top company. They were into electricity generation, they were into defense related activities, they had many places in India, they set up the top company in the world. One day it collapsed. Why? They were using unethical practices. Even their auditors, renowned auditors in the world, were coming out with reports which were false. So you can do well, but level 5 leadership, they will never collapse. They will rely on values, ethics, and build the team and the processes. So that's one on technical competence. We often mix as technical people, as doctors, that we are good leaders if we are. So read about Jim Collins, and there is a reference to that in one of the articles, one of the 7 articles I have written. And the learning of leadership has grown over broadly 3 phases. Most of the time humanity has existed, we thought, I will read Mahatma Gandhi and become a leader. So I will try to imitate Mahatma Gandhi, copy what he did, or Martin Luther King, or Desmond Tutu. So we read biographies, and it was very popular when we were growing up. It was very popular. We were reading biographies so that we can become leader. You cannot become leader. Sanjiv Kumar has to remain Sanjiv Kumar to become a good leader. Sanjiv Kumar cannot become Mahatma Gandhi to become a leader. The second phase was we identified common traits of leader. A few traits and try to inculcate those very difficult. I am born with a trait, I cannot acquire that. So that was another phase. And the third phase was when John Adair, probably the first person who has written a lot of books on leadership, he said, no, leadership can be learned. All of us can learn leadership. You have some skills, but you have to make an active effort, and you can learn leadership. So we are in that phase when everybody globally working on leadership feels that we can all become leaders. Some of us have natural advantage. We have some traits where it is easier for us to acquire those skills. But every one of us can become leader. So that's the three phases, and we are fortunate we are born in a phase when everybody who is in leadership says leadership can be learned. And I'm very happy with this initiative, because that is what we lack in our profession, and we can move further on leadership. So just to conclude, 5 skills I will say you will focus, and many of these skills are covered in the program for today, but it is just the beginning. Just the beginning. You have to continue your journey on leadership. Keep reflecting, read more, keep reflecting, and you will grow in your journey towards leadership. One is listening skills. I did not bring the slides. I often present a slide when a wife is telling her husband to do this, and the husband is selectively listening to a few phrases. And what he listens to is exactly opposite of what was told to him by his wife. So listening is very important. And I'm sure in the communication section you will cover that. Second is time management. I strongly feel it is a misnomer. Nobody can manage time. Time is one of the few things which has been given same to the beggar on the street to the Prime Minister or President of the country. It is how you use that time. And if you want to read about time management, there is a book called First Thing First by Stephen Covey, who is a great, unfortunately passed on a couple of years back. Read the book First Thing First. You have to prioritize what you do. You cannot manage time. And the